Today we're going to draw step pulley A. We're going to make a draft. So I'm going to do a new draft here. We need to go to sheet setup. We want an A3 wide and our background to be A3. I don't need all of this information, so I'm going to go to view my background sheet. Need to be on A3 and get rid of that. I don't need this other stuff here. I'm going to edit this to say my name. Go back to my working sheet. Now I'm ready to bring my drawings in. I want the step pulley A. This is fine. I need to do a custom setup. Be sure this is your front view. If it's not, you're going to have to rotate it to be the front view. You only want two views. In addition to the front view, you need the side view and the isometric view. We're going to have to rearrange these. We want our ISO to go up here. This is actually our front view. We're going to slide it over here. We're going to change the scale on these. Right now they're scaled at 1/2. We're going to make them 1. We're going to show the scale. This, I want the caption to say side. Slide this over. This is the front view. I need to next add a cutting plane line. Click on that tool. I want to add my cutting plane line to this view. I only want it to be 1/2 the view, so I'm going to line this up from the center. Click, go to the center, come back up and go out just a little bit. Click. Okay, I'm going to finish it. I need this to be ANSI. And I want those to point this way, like that. I'm going to edit this line. I don't need a caption for this one, and I do want my line type to be long, short, short, long. Now what I'm going to do is put the section view directly over this. So what I want to do is shrink this view down right to the 1/2 point. To get the section view, I come to this tool, click. Notice the order I do my clicking when I click on the line. I'm going to click on the cutting plane line, and then I'm going to come over to this vertical line, click once, and now drag it over. Now I'm going to align the view very carefully like that. When I get it aligned, I click and it places the drawing. Now it's not perfect, it's pretty close. We can go back and adjust it. One thing I need to do is I've told you that you do not want to show hidden lines on your section view. So you right click, properties. This time you need to go to display and uncheck the hidden edge style. Also, I don't want this section AA to be under there. So, in general, I'm going to turn off the caption. and the suffix. Now all you need to do is start adding dimensions. To dimension, we're going to first want to go to Format, Style, and we're going to want ANSI metric, which is right there. I'm going to modify that just a little bit by changing the text height to just 3. And then we hit apply. I can go into my Smart Dimension tool and start doing some diameters. When I do these, I want to make sure that I'm only selecting solid lines. I don't want to dimension hidden lines. Always remember that. Also, I want to try to keep my angle between 30 and 75 degrees, which means I don't want them to be horizontal, and I don't want them to be vertical. So I want them to be somewhere in between. I like 45-degree angles a lot. Then you want to dimension the section view, so I would recommend that you zoom in on that part of it just to make your life easier. You can see that this view is just slightly off. Adjusting it isn't super easy, but it's not super hard. You just want to move it a little bit to the right and left till you get it just right. See, it's still off just a smidgen, but good enough for who it's for. So I'm going to use my distance between tool, and I want to go from this endpoint to that endpoint and pull that out. If I go down to this endpoint, notice how it puts it in that place automatically. I like that. And then I'm going to go to this endpoint and that endpoint. I don't really need this distance. This is going to be the radius of my hole, which is given in diameter someplace else. Now I'm going to use the Smart Dimension tool, tell me the length of the line right off, like this. And drag that up so it's even. Can also use those over here. You're going to want to consult the sample I've given you on the website that shows all the dimensions that you'll need. Try to match them as closely as possible. If there's a slight variation, it's not a big deal. You just need to make sure that all the dimensions are there. I'm going to show you now. We want to add a few things to the sheet. We want to make sure that we have a title right here. This is going to say step. I like the capital letters. Step Pulley A. I want that to be bold, and let's go probably about 7. Oh, we want to be centered, and that should do that. We also need to have a note on here that this is metric. So metric, we do want to have a border on that, and we want our vertical and horizontal centering on that. We can, I believe, yeah, we can shrink that box a little bit. One other note is using the text tool, I'm going to put it down here. Round, whoops, what happened? Round and fillets are 3. I don't want to have a box around that. So I'm going to delete the box or turn it off. The last thing I want to do is update this view so that it shows it in kind of a section view. I want that quadrant removed. So if I double click on this, it's going to take me into my part. I had done the cutout but suppressed it. So if I click right there and then right click, I can unsuppress that cutout. Shows you that. So I hit X here. It's going to ask me if I want to save, and I say yes. Takes me back in here. Now what I do is right click and I update the view. And that easily it makes that. Now these boxes show up around here. That means that those views are out of date and you could update them. But if you did, you'd screw everything up that you did before now. So you don't want to update those views. When you print, these little gray boxes are not going to show up.